Croeso sianel Blaid Llwyd. And welcome to a new VN. It's been a while since we started a new one, at least a few months, and I've been playing this and I actually quite enjoy it, so I decided to make it the first of the new VNs we'll be encountering over the next couple of months or so, just adding some new stuff in and trying to juggle everything on the channel, so we'll see how it goes. But this is a little different in tone to the other ones I have coming up, so it makes a nice contrast, and I do enjoy this one. So, let's get started. What a long morning. I used to endure the most brutal midterm of my 3 years in college. Taking this econ class was a mistake. I'm going to have to drop it and take something else in the fall. Enter my dorm suite, slip off my shoes, and drop the backpack by the door if I flop onto the tiny couch. My roommate, Lucas, with whom I share the common room, is at his laptop, furiously typing away at something. Even though he's wearing his oversized headphones, I still hear the blaring rock music. Yo, Nick, you free the rest of the day? Yeah, pretty much. Why? What? I raise my voice a little. I said I'm free. Oh. Lucas takes off the headphones as if he just noticed he was wearing them, then smiles at me sheepishly. Dude, you'll go deaf like that. It's fine. Anyway, you saying you're free? I give him an irritated look before nodding. Why don't you shoot some footage of my independent project? The place is up in Magnolia Hills. Drive me there? No thanks. Come on, it's not that fun. We'll get to hang out for a bit. Can't you ask Jess? She said she's busy. Please? Maybe. What do I get out of it? With a mischievous grin, the wolf reaches for 2 white slips on his desk. They look like tickets. The apartment was selling these at a discount. I managed to snag a couple. I roll into a sitting position, intrigued. Jefferson, baby. Shit, really? I've been trying to see it for months. And now you can. You drive me, and carry my equipment, and proofread my script. The tickets are so hard to get, I don't even hesitate. Well, at this point I'm willing to carry Lucas's equipment to Magnolia Hills on foot. Alright, you got it. When? 40 minutes? I gotta finish the assignment for another class, but it should be quick. Just wake me up when you want to leave. Lucas nods and turns back to his laptop. As he reaches for his headphones again, I add, and turn the damn volume down. Lucas shrugs as I head into my bedroom. The loud tapping on my door wakes me up. Yeah? The door opens and Lucas peeks in. Alright, I'm done. I rub an eye with one paw and glance at my phone. It's been over 2 hours. Lucas smiles apologetically at my dirty look. Paper took longer than I thought. You're buying me dinner. Fine. You ready? Yeah, just let me grab my keys. We exit our suite and head towards the parking garage. As promised, I carried equipment. Nothing heavy, just a camera, mic and tripod. Lucas and I climb into my cheap-ass grey Kia. Where are we heading again? There's a abandoned construction project up in the hills. I have the address on my phone. Should be there in 40 minutes at most. As before, the wolf proves terrible at estimating the time it'll take to do something. It's not rush hour yet. The traffic is still pretty heavy, and it takes us a while to get out of downtown. That's Nova for you. Can't help but envy the superpowered folk that are able to just forego this mess and fly. Even glance to the sky as if expecting to see one of the many superheroes of the city. Just tall buildings and the vast empty sky. Still tired. Just stressed about midterms. Hopefully he'll be fine. John invited me to a study group. John? You all took History 201 together last year, remember? German Shepherd, finance major. From the corner of my eye, I see a sly grin spread across Lucas's face. Ah, I see how it is. Could the raccoon have a little crush? I just grunt in response, the insides of my ears flushing. Invited you to a study group, did he? I can picture it already. It's getting late. The others are tired and start leaving one by one. Soon it's just you and John. You both reach for the textbook, his paw falling on yours. You gaze into his dreamy eyes, heart racing. Quite a scene, Lucas. Ever consider switching to English Lit, or trying your hand at fan fiction? Either way, pretty sure John wouldn't be up for it. Yeah? What makes you say that? I can tell when someone is into me, Lucas. The wolf snorts, still grinning. Right. I must admit the scenario Lucas described sounds more than a little alluring. But I'm confident John is not into guys. Or me. I decide to change the topic. What paper was that earlier? Lucas grimaces. I say for my politics and media class. Not a fan, I take it? That's okay. Actually, the professor is very good. I just don't care for the topic. Wouldn't take it if it wasn't required. Lucas is studying journalism, which means we've taken some writing classes together, but otherwise his course load is very different from mine. In fact, we met in one of the introductory writing classes freshman year. We became friends after we partnered for an assignment and exchanged scathing reviews of each other's work, which we, for some reason, found hilarious. Sports is political too, you know. Lucas wants to do sports journalism when he graduates. He played lacrosse in high school, and while he didn't continue his athletic career, he never lost interest. Yeah, tell me about it. Seems every other retired athlete wants to be governor nowadays. That's not quite what I meant, but I let Lucas rant a while about it as I drive us further into the suburbs. Compared to the din and excitement of downtown, Magnolia Hills is pretty quiet. It's one of the most affluent neighbourhoods, so all we see is 1- and 2-story houses and opulent mansions. Most are surrounded by low walls to preserve the privacy of the owners, with cameras installed at the corners to scare away any potential troublemakers. I'm surprised they'd leave a whole project unfinished here. You'd think the rich a-holes would want the eyesore removed. But Luke's directions prove correct. I'm soon parking near a large construction yard, with what appears to be a luxury condo, not even halfway finished. The forested hills that stretch further north start nearby. Whoever's building has flattened a sizable portion of the land. Wait, do you even have permission to film here? Why? What do you mean, why? We'd be trespassing otherwise. So, don't tell me my roommate's the only raccoon in nowhere and are willing to trespass a little. Wow, speciesist. And for your information, no, I wouldn't mind, but I'd still rather know what I'm getting myself into. Despite my annoyed tone, the wolf chuckles in amusement. Relax, I did manage to get a permit. Can't submit an official school project with illegal footage, can I? I nod, satisfied, and start taking out Luke's equipment out of the back seat. Why was this abandoned anyway? Well, some dispute with the locals. Before it was resolved, the company went bankrupt. The ones who were supposed to take it over got mired in yet another court case, and it's been in limbo since. Boring stuff, really. Not boring enough for a school project, it turns out. Or maybe just the right kind of boring, who knows. University work can be pretty mind-numbing, but hey, whatever gets you a passing grade. We hop over a shoddy fence and walk to the centre of the construction yard. Lucas takes an appraising look at our surroundings. Alright, good enough. I'll sit up here for now. Go chill until I'm done, then we can go up there. He points with his snout towards the half-finished building. That's where I head right away, since the only source of shade in the otherwise flat and empty space. I take out my phone while I wait, spending several minutes browsing John's social media. Huh. He's much more of a nerd than I thought. Looks like he's been going to a couple of larger cons these past few summers. Every year into fantasising about driving down the coast to attend a convention with him, nerding out for a full weekend, pestering our favourite authors and actors. We'd even cosplay together. I've been wanting to cosplay Prince Azra from last year's Guardians of the Stone. John could be the prince's dashing bodyguard. Yeah, right. I mutter as I switch over to FurTube. I glance over at Lucas, who's taking a sweeping shot of the construction yard. There's not much there, but I know his neurotic perfectionism has taken over and it'll take forever to line up the shots he needs. My gaze drifts back to my phone, and a video on my home feed catches my attention. Will-O-Wisp destroys flame-spewing idiot. Videos of superheroes giving yet another villain a beatdown are a dime a dozen. I click anyway. They seldom fail to entertain. The British superhero does indeed give a beating of a lifetime to some polecat that can breathe fire. The footage is shot on someone's smartphone, seems to be taking place in the middle of London. I haven't seen this Will-O-Wisp before, but she dances circles around the polecat, blinding him with bright flashes of light before punching him from angles he doesn't expect. I bark out a laugh when the final blow lands straight in his crotch. That had to hurt. Hey, move your ass out of the shot! I look up to see Lucas waving at me impatiently. Alright, sorry. I slide my phone back into the pocket and rejoin my roommate. You call me deaf? The wolf grumbles as I stand at his side. I roll my eyes. Almost done here? Yep, just need some footage inside and a shot of the view of the city from the top. Sure. It's all just bare concrete on the inside, with pieces of rebar sticking out haphazardly from beams and columns. The staircase is just as unfinished, but looks sturdy enough that I don't fear it'll collapse under me. I'm surprised to see no graffiti on any of the walls. Come to think of it, there wasn't any on the outside either. Yes, Magnolia kids don't care to explore the place. That or their rich parents won't let them. Be fair, the spot is somewhat removed from the rest of the neighbourhood. I regret not having a can of spray paint rolling around in my car. Been a while since I've inflicted my art on the city's various conveniently available walls. And this right here would make for an excellent canvas. While I look around, Lucas sets up his camera again, but takes just a few still shots before removing it from the tripod. Not going to record your script? Nah, haven't finished it. I'll do it in voiceover later. I shrug and follow him upstairs. The workers finished constructing 10 floors before the project was abandoned. There's no easy way to access the very top of the building, so we settle on the last finished floor. The view from here is very nice. I can see the downtown with its skyscrapers glittering in the late afternoon sun. Further toward the horizon, the ocean stretches on and on. Magnolia Hills itself is pretty charming from up here too. Plentiful trees line the narrow streets and the lawns are immaculate. The views in the suburb where I grew up, further east, are not quite as nice. Next to me, Lucas is taking his landscape shot of the city. Be pretty cool to live here, if they ever finished it, right? No, I think it was a bit of an asshole move to cover up the hills with this mess, no? I'm kinda glad it was never finished. Yeah, I guess. You think they'll pick it up again? I doubt it. The locals want the whole thing demolished, and for good reason. Alright, I think I'm done. Shall we head out? Let's stick around for a bit. I like the view. It's too early for dinner anyway. Lucas shrugs as he puts the camera and tripod away, zipping up the bag. He then sits down on the floor next to me, dangling his feet over the edge of the building. I follow suit. So, you saying you want to live up here when you graduate? I snort. Oh, whatever salary I'll have? I wish. Lucas grins and nudges me with his shoulder. You never know, you could write a surprise hit. Nope, I'd rather be an agent or work in publishing. You sure? Your stories aren't half bad, you know. I still can't believe you talked me into showing you my writing. What can I say? I'm very persuasive. He winks at me. I jostle him playfully. Figured out your summer plans yet? I'll interview for that internship at FSBC the Monday after spring break. Well, if that works out, I'll be in the city. You should run with Jess if that happens. I think she's staying in Nova too. Lucas nods. It'd be nice to visit my grandparents though. Been a while since I've been to Peru. Your dad still set on vacation in Europe? Yeah, well, I think I'll go. I should be able to do a shorter internship in August once we're back. That sounds like a plan. Yep. We sit in silence a little longer, watching the sun inch closer to the horizon, enjoying the pleasant breeze. The next few days are going to be hectic. I have 2 more midterms on top of the papers I need to finish by Monday. It's nice to enjoy a brief reprieve from all that. A few minutes later, Lucas stands, dusting off his shorts. Alright, let's go. I don't want to be stuck in traffic forever. Fair enough. Lucas offers me his paw and I let him pull me to my feet. I'm about to reach the camera bag when I notice Lucas frowning at something behind me. I turn around to follow his gaze. It takes me a moment to spot an odd glint in the sky above the neighbourhood. I realise I'm seeing someone flying. And they're headed straight for us. The fuck? Before I can even begin to react, Lucas tackles me to the floor and right in time. I barely register the red light streaking past before something crashes through the concrete wall behind us. I've only begun to lift my head before a second figure touches down the floor nearby, not even sparing the two of us a glance. Through the hole in the wall, I see a tall figure clad in glowing red armour recovering from his fall. The second figure doesn't waste another moment, rushing through the gap. Lucas has pulled me up into the staircase. Holy shit, is that Templar? Yeah, I think so. Oh, fuck. Loud clangs resound from beyond the walls, the two opponents clash in superpowered combat. Come on, come on. Lucas goes down a flight of stairs in 2 hops, almost trip over my own feet as I rush to follow. The force of the blows being exchanged upstairs dislodges copious dust from the unfinished walls. I swear I can feel the whole building shake. We're running hard when Templar crashes through 3 landings straight, ending up on the floor below us. Lucas and I freeze as the assailant, who I now realise is the wolf with black fur, jumps down after Templar. His paws are surrounded by some strange green energy. He grabs Templar by the neck and punches him in the gut with such force it sends a shockwave. Chunks of the armour are sent flying, but Templar extends his hand and a mace appears in his paw, which he then swings sideways at the wolf. The mace hits the supervillain in the side, causing him to drop Templar. The armoured hero brings the mace around for another strike. Neither of them has seen us, I think. I'm not even sure they registered our presence when they first appeared here on the top floor. Lucas is so tense I can see his whole body vibrate. We watch the fight in rapt awe before I snap out of it. Go! I whisper, yelling Lucas' ear. He nods and starts running down the stairs again. I try to follow. Right as Lucas makes a turn, the fighters, their paws locked in a grapple, crash through one of the support beams. I yelp as the staircase begins to collapse. I have no time to think. I rush towards Lucas and push hard. He grunts as the shove sends him tumbling to the edge and he rolls to the side and onto the concrete below. Then disappears from my sight in a cloud of dust and debris. I have no choice but to retreat. I'm cut off. Templar and his opponent continue raining blows on each other while I dash behind a wall, thinking frantically. Nick! The Black Wolf's ears flicker the sound, but he can't afford to be distracted right now. Still, my heart hammers in my chest. I rush over the side of the building, dropping prone and hanging my head over the edge. I'm fine. Keep going down. Lucas rushes over and looks up at me. Fuck, dude. Just jump. I blink at him in disbelief, flinching when the combatants is smashed into a wall yet again. I can't possibly make it. The angle is too awkward, and if I miss there won't be much of me left to scrape off the ground. Only thing I can do is shake my head. I'll catch you. He braces himself and holds out a hand if he expects me to jump. No, I told you. Just keep going. The stairs below are fine, right? Yeah, but... Go! With that, I rush back into hiding. Hope Lucas isn't going to do something stupid. At least he has no way of getting back up here, I think. All I can do now is watch this battle play out. Templar is a superhero, one of the best in Nova City, in fact. There's no way he's losing this. I just need to wait this out. Stay out of the way, make sure the building's not crumbling under my feet. Once it's safe, I can see if I can clear the rubble blocking the staircase. With any luck, Templar will just scoop me up and deliver me to safety himself. The hopeful thought lingers for a very short time. Lunging when an opening presents itself and dodging whenever Templar counterattacks, the wolf, slowly but surely, gains the upper hand. With the green energy swirling fiercely around his arms, he lands devastating blows on the armoured hero. The next thing I know, Templar is on the ground with the wolf looming over him, paws interlocked, bringing his fists down at his chest and helm. Again. And again. Shit. More and more cracks appear in Templar's armour. I can even see parts of his face now. His muscle is bleeding. The wolf won't let him lift the arm holding the mace. A slow, horrible realization I'm watching a superhero lose a fight engulfs me, hammered in deeper and deeper with every blow. I need to do something, right fucking now. Not fight, but at least distract him somehow. There's a piece of rebar lying next to the collapsed staircase. It's hardly a weapon. I could try something with it. I rush over to grab the piece of rebar, thankful the canine is his back to me. Gripping the rebar so tight my claws sink into my palm, I begin to creep towards the supervillain. Even over the deafening sounds of his fists meeting Templar's armour, I can hear my own pulse drumming in my ears. I yell as I swing the metal, putting all my weight into the blow across the wolf's back. He turns around, surprised, his eyes focusing malevolently on me. Before I can move a muscle, he swings the back of his fist at me. There's an explosion of pain in my chest. The blow sends me flying. Ah! I hit the opposite wall and crumple to the floor. The impact has knocked the wind out of my lungs. I can't breathe. Fuck, I can't breathe. I'm trying to inhale, but I just can't. As if the blow caved in my chest. My whole body's on fire. I'm gasping, trying to force something, anything into my lungs. Distantly, I'm aware the fight continues. Perhaps the distraction was enough to let Templar recover. At last, I manage a deep breath, inhaling dust and dirt and sweet, glorious air. Slowly, agonizingly, I manage to crawl up to my knees. Clutching my chest, I try to figure out if anything's broken. I can't tell. It sure feels like it, but I can move at least. My eyes are watering, but I try to focus my attention on what's happening in front of me. Templar is indeed back on his feet. While his armour is in terrible condition, he has the wolf on the ropes now. I can only wheeze as I watch the scene unfold. Which is a pity, because for a moment I actually forget all about the pain and want to cheer. Templar brings his mace down on the bastard's paw with such force that I hear bones snap. The wolf howls in agony, and for the first time since the fight came to this godforsaken condo, he's on the retreat. Templar presses on, driving him back until the black-clad figure rushes the open edge and flies off. Using the wolf's support, I get up to my feet and take shaky steps towards the superhero. My elation as the apparent victory is short-lived because Templar suddenly collapses to his knees. I gasp when I get to him. The arm around his torso is in shambles. The parts that are somehow still lingering on him full of deep dents, and I can see a sickening amount of blood. He pulls off the ruined helm at my approach. To my surprise, Templar turns out to be a middle-aged badger. A badger with blood streaming down the side of his face and from his muzzle. I can't even see his left eye under the flow of crimson. I stand there in shock, not quite comprehending that I could be seen a superhero in this condition. That was... His voice is raspy, pained. You know he somehow manages an actual smile. Incredibly stupid, kid. I look around, frantic, trying to decide what to do. My friend was here. Fuck, it's so hard to force the words out. An ambulance must be coming. I can feel my phone in my pocket. If it's still intact, I can make the call myself. No, I think that's it for me. I blink at him. What? As if in response, he coughs up yet more blood and chuckles. Your name, kid? Nick, sir. You're very brave, Nick. I need you to do me a favor. Anything, sir. He nods, a strange expression in his face. Sorrowful, apologetic. He reaches out with his paw and I grab it. Before I can try to assist him up, he tightens his grip on me. Promise. Use it well. I blink again, unsure of what he's saying. He maintains his grip, his intense eyes boring into mine until I nod. The badger lets out a relieved sigh, his paw going slack. That's when I feel a sudden burning in my wrist. I cry out. I'm on the floor, darkness creeping into the edges of my vision. Templar's looking down at me with that same odd expression. Where's his armour? Sorry, kid. The last thing I see before I pass out is a superhero toppled to the floor next to me. Then, it's just darkness. I'm slow to wake up. There's a dull pain in my chest and back. My eyes flutter open. I find myself in some kind of hospital room. It's very small, cramped even. There's nobody around and there are no windows. The medical bed I'm on is uncomfortable, but I wince in pain when I try to shift my weight. A synthetic-sounding voice startles me and I almost fall off the bed. Good evening, Mr. Saunders. I look around to identify the source of the voice, but nobody's there with me and I can find no other source. It seems to be coming from somewhere above me instead. Hello? What's happening? I hear a slight humming noise before the voice speaks again. You are in a safe location. You were picked up by Superfang. My mind races as I recall the events prior to me losing consciousness. Luke's shoot at the construction yard, us chilling on the building, the crash, the fight. Templar. Did Templar make it? The hum again. I am not at liberty to elucidate. What about Lucas Rodriguez, the Clopeo that was at that place? No civilian casualties were reported. I take even breath to try and slow my heartbeat, then search my surroundings as I run my paws through my head fur. No sign of my phone or my wallet, or my clothes for that matter. I'm wearing some kind of hospital gown. Are you my doctor? I am not a medical professional. I am Gil, a virtual assistant. It is, however, my assignment to ensure your care at the moment. Where am I? I am not at liberty to elucidate. There's one door leading out of the room. Well, I suspect I'm supposed to wait. I still decide to get up to stretch my legs. Gil doesn't object. I'm not as much pain as I thought, though my body is very sore. How long have I been here? You have been unconscious for 37 hours and 8 minutes since you were first brought here. It has been 7 minutes since your awakening. I'm a little unnerved by the presence of a computerized assistant who I can only hear. Anything wrong with me? Multiple contusions, minor blood loss, fracture of the scapula. None of these conditions are life-threatening. I sigh, somewhat relieved, make the mistake of rolling my shoulders. The piercing pain on my left side announces the presence of the fracture Gil just mentioned. I take a moment to recover, then walk toward the door. There's no handle. Please refrain from attempting to access the rest of the facility. The team has been alerted to your awakening. I nod and step away, contemplating the implications. Gil said Superfang picked me up from that condo. Templar's teammate. I hope that means they came in time to save Templar. It looks like I'm about to meet the rest of the Sentinels. As if on cue, someone steps through the wall right next to me. Literally through the wall. Oh, fuck! I stumble back, gasping. I recognize Unbound, of course. The bear is wearing a signature white and purple costume, face hidden behind a mask, her eyes and brown muzzle visible. Her form is oddly blurry as she steps through. But it takes on a more solid appearance almost instantly. My apologies, I didn't mean to startle. She doesn't sound all that apologetic. I nod, my mouth dry. I'm standing in front of another superhero. I swallow before I say anything. She angles her muzzle up toward the ceiling. Gil, inform the others to gather in the meeting room as soon as possible. Baron in Black, Nessus, and Superfang have been alerted. Thank you. Unbound turns to me. Come. She exits the room through the wall, and for a moment I'm left there to gape. There's a click at the door and it slides to the side, opening the way. I find myself in a dimly lit hallway, which looks nothing like what I've seen in any hospital. Am I in the Sentinel's secret base? The nerd part of me wants to dance in excitement, but this isn't the time. Not when I have no idea what's going on. Even if a superhero rescued me from that condo, I'd expect to be dumped at the nearest hospital. So what am I doing here? Unbound strides ahead of me, and I hurry to catch up. Is Templar okay? He's in pretty bad shape. The superhero stops and gives me a long, searching look that makes me rather uneasy. Templar passed away before any of us were able to get there. Oh. My heart sinks into my stomach. Was I a witness to the death of one of the greatest superheroes of Nova City, if not the entire country? This feels unreal. Come. Dozens of questions are on my tongue. Unbound seems too impatient to talk. We walk through a door that slides open on our approach and cross a short catwalk into another hallway. I suspect Unbound could be taking shortcuts with the superpower, but she's not. For my benefit, I assume. Normally I'd be trying to get glimpses of much of this place that I can. News of Templar's death has me too distracted. So it takes me by surprise when we step into a bright circular room with an upraised platform in the middle. There's a thick round table standing there. In the middle, a holographic projection floats above it, displaying some data I have no frame of reference to understand. The walls of the room are littered with large monitors displaying dozens of images and video feeds. 5 seats are arranged around the central table. Only one of them is occupied at the moment, by Nessus. The hood he normally uses to conceal his face is down. A domino mask covers the fox's eyes. He's holding a Rubik's Cube, which appears promptly at the folds of his outfit at our approach. His whiskers twitch and he leaps from his seat. Hi Nick, good to meet you. I'm somewhat taken aback by his friendly tone, a sharp contrast to Unbound, who's been deadly serious so far. Nessus shakes my hand, smiling, puts a paw on my back and nudges me towards one of the empty seats. Good to meet you too, Nessus. This is very awkward. I take a seat anyway, fidgeting nervously. Unbound is just standing there, looking at the wall display. Hope you don't mind we looked at your driver's license. I didn't know who we were dealing with. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. But, why am I here? Nessus tilts his head to the side and points to my right hand. Huh? I just now notice there's a coppery red band around my wrist. First I think it's plastic. When I touch it, I realize it's in fact metal. It sits incredibly snug and feels almost weightless. If I wasn't looking at it, I wouldn't know it was there at all. The surface is very smooth, even though there are some images engraved onto it. I give Nessus a confused look. What's this? Well, you know, the source of Templar's powers? He frowns at my dumbfounded look. I think it means you're his successor. The hell he is! I swivel in my chair in the direction of the new voice. The Baron in black, in his full steampunk getup and holding a cane, stalks into the room. He's wearing an intricate clockwork mask and is otherwise covered head to toe, but I can't even tell what species he is. Despite not seeing his eyes, I can feel him glaring at me. I slink further into the chair. Nessus waves a paw at the Baron dismissively. I turn my face back to the fox. What do you mean by that? What you just heard. The bracelet is passed from one person to another, and it is what makes one Templar. I don't know how or why, but we found it on your wrist. The Baron stands next to Unbound, continuing to glare at me. Why is he sitting here? Before anyone can answer, the final member of the team runs into the room through an entrance on the opposite side. Unlike the rest of his teammates, Superfang is not wearing his mask, and I can see the tiger's face in full. Oh, sorry. There was a robbery on the 3rd, so I made a brief detour. Where the hell's your mask? What? We're in HQ. His gaze finds me and he smiles sheepishly. Whoops. The tiger seems familiar. Wait, Vince Morelli? Everyone is staring at me now. Superfang Vince blinks several times. Do we know each other? Yeah, we went to the same high school. I was a sophomore when you graduated. Baron in black buries his mask in his palm and looks at Superfang. God fucking damn it. Great job, champ. Just what we needed, a high school reunion. The tiger looks mortified as he shuffles over to take his seat. By the way he keeps peeking at me, I can tell he doesn't remember me. I'm not that unmemorable, am I? Anyway, I thought I instructed Gil to have him... The Baron waves a paw in my direction. Locked up. What gives? I decided it'd be expedient if we heard what happened from him directly, right here. I'm confident he does not present a threat. I sure don't. Especially with how small I'm feeling at the moment. I wish the Baron would stop glaring at me. Knowing an actual superhero dislikes me, for no reason I can comprehend right now, is making me agitated. How do you have the bracelet? I glanced down at the metal band. I've no idea how it ended up on my wrist. I think Templar gave it to me? The Baron snorts. Now why in the fuck would he do that? Unbound raises a paw to silence him. Nick, can you tell us what happened before you found yourself here? In detail, please. I bite my lip before nodding. I tell them everything, how we drove to Magnolia Hills, Luce's decision to film on the top floor of the abandoned construction, how we saw two figures flying at us, the fight, the smashed staircase, my attempt to distract the superpowered assailant. The way Templar drove him off for collapsing. Our brief conversation. He then asked me to promise to use it well, and then... I think for a moment, trying to collect my thoughts. There was this burning in my wrist, and then I was on the floor. It's all very blurry. That's when I passed out. There's a long silence after I finished speaking. Unbound exchanges a look with the Baron I can't quite read, while Superfang and Nissus both stare down at the table. I look at the tiger. Seems like he slipped his mask back on while nobody's paying attention. It's kind of adorable, would have had me chuckling in other circumstances. The friend I mentioned, Lucas. Do you know if he made it out fine? It's Nessus who responds. He was fine. We exchanged a few words after Superfang took you and Templar away. Relief washes over me. Gil mentioned there were no casualties, but that could have meant any number of things. There's another long silence. The Baron is the first to speak up. This is all bullshit. Why would he give his powers to you? Templar has a son, for fuck's sake. He has a daughter too, you know. Right. Regardless, why would he give the bracelet to some rando? I hug my shoulders and look down. That's a pretty good question. One I don't have an answer to. Frankly, part of me thinks this is some kind of a joke. It's obvious the others don't have a retort either. Besides, why the fuck would we believe any of what he said is true? For all we know, he attacked Templar and took the bracelet by force. I didn't look like it to me. Superfang says almost in a whisper, not quite meeting his teammate's eyes. You know the boy wouldn't be wearing it if the artifact didn't consider him worthy. The fact is the bracelet is on Nick, and despite our best efforts, we have been unable to remove it. It makes sense they would try that, I suppose. The thought still makes me uncomfortable for some reason. Maybe he needs to do it himself, so I'll ask nicely. Hand over the bracelet. I just sit there, unable to articulate a single thought. Templar said to use it well. It's obvious now he meant this bracelet. His powers. I'm no superhero. What the hell am I doing? Can you take it off, Nick? I place a paw on the band. It's slightly warm to the touch. I try to slide a finger in the bracelet, but it's wound so tight around my wrist that I can't. The metal is very thin, it's hard to get any kind of grip. I turn my wrist, examining it from all angles. There's no point where two sides connect. It's like the bracelet is one single piece. I try sliding it down, my paw is far too large to fit through. The Baron huffs impatiently. Useless. That's enough, Baron. Unbound turns from a tone calm but firm. I would think you, of all people, would respect Templar's wishes. The Baron rounds on the bear, his mask glinting menacingly. I respect his legacy. I know his most prized possession shouldn't fall to a fucking high schooler. I'm in college. That earns me another glare from the Baron and a chuckle from Nessus. I think it's clear, at least, that we can't remove the bracelet against Nick's wishes. We can still chop off his arm. I recoil, clutching said arms. I'm about to be strapped to an operating table. Nessus growls. I'm joking, you fucking people. The Baron glances over at Superfang, who's been very quiet so far. Care to weigh in, champ? The tiger shakes his head. Look on his face is that of a cub watching his parents argue. The Baron snorts again. So what now? We welcome the new Templar into our ranks? The little party? Balloons? Cake? I gape at him. I'm not Templar. No shit. I mean, I can't be a superhero. The Baron lifts a paw in a see what I'm talking about gesture. I can't deal with this right now. I need to speak with Sarah about the funeral arrangements. How about you knuckleheads call me when you manage to dislodge your muzzles from your asses? With that, the Baron leaves the room faster than any of his teammates can object. Nessus next to me rubs his eyes. Sorry about that, Nick. The Baron is not taking Templar's death well. I can certainly see that. He was joking, right? About my arm? Yeah. Wow. The tiger doesn't sound nearly as confident as I would have liked. I hug my arm again. Nessus glances between me and Superfang. You two really know each other? Yeah, from Greenville High. There's a look of recognition in the tiger's eyes. Oh, Nick Sanders, right? Saunders. Superfang gives me a toothy grin. Yeah, if I remember now, you're that scrawny raccoon from Drama Club. That's me, alright. I wasn't that scrawny, though. I think. Actually, Vince himself has bulked up a lot since high school. He must be twice as wide as he was in his senior year. It's all muscle, too. Wonder if he's already superpowered back then. God, it's surreal to sit here with the guy I used to go to school with, who, turns out, is one of the most popular superheroes out there. So, how long ago did this happen to you? His smile widens. A freshman year in college. Crazy, right? You've no idea. There's a brief silence after that. I'm trying to stare too hard at any of the superheroes around me. Unbound's been gazing after the Baron this whole time, lost in thought, turns to me. Nick, I understand this is a lot to process. Templar was an integral part of our team, and his loss will be felt for years to come. I don't expect you to replace him. To be honest, I don't think you can. But it appears that fate has conspired to place this responsibility on your shoulders, and I need to know what you intend to do with it. I squirm under her intense scrutiny. I don't think I have a choice, do I? You absolutely do. Not truly, no. Nessus and Unbound speak in unison and exchange frowns at their wildly different responses. Vince, meanwhile, regards me with curious eyes. I take a shuddering breath. I'll need some time to think about it, I suppose. Unbound nods and waves a paw around. You should linger here for now to recuperate and ensure your safety. We don't know if the one who killed Templar might come looking for you. Gil, was Nick's phone intact? It was. Gil's synthetic voice replies. I'd forgotten about its presence. I suggest you call your loved ones and assure them that you are safe. Of course, they cannot know the truth of any of this. You're official at the St. George Memorial Hospital. Is that correct, Gil? It is, Unbound. I nod to everything the bear is saying. As antagonistic as the Baron had been, Unbound's intense, piercing gaze has left me more unnerved. I feel a paw land on my shoulder. I'm here if you want to talk about all this. I'm going to be around too. Just ask Gil to let us know if you want to chat. Thanks. I realize Unbound intends to guide me back to that medical room, so I rise from the chair to follow. Nessus and Superfang start talking about something I can't quite make out as we leave the room. Unbound is silent as we walk, so I decide not to bother with any questions right now. One thing's for sure, this is a lot to process. I don't even know where to start. The bracelet catches some of the ambient light. I know dear Templar's powers weren't innate, or they were passed from one person to another. Unbound mentioned something about only someone worthy being able to wear it. Is that a thing? Sounds like the kind of fairy tale bullshit that inspired one of the fantasy books I loves, not a source of an actual superhero's powers. And again, I know that some heroes draw power from more mystical places, other dimensions and stuff. Nevertheless, the idea that I could even be worthy, whatever that means, of something like this seems incomprehensible. I've done nothing even remotely heroic all my life. Besides swinging that piece of rebar to the supervillain's back, I suppose. It would be more heroic if I didn't sneak up on him first, though. My head is starting to spin. Rest. Unbound ushers me back into the room. The door slides closed behind her. My phone has somehow found its way onto the tiny table next to the bed. I don't feel like making any calls yet. My stomach churns at the idea of talking to my worried parents. Lucas would have told them what happened for sure. I wonder if this was on the news. I guess I can check. I browsed the internet for a while, looking for any mentions of the fight. To my surprise, nothing. Maybe the Sentinels don't want the story Templar's death out there yet. I have so many missed calls and messages. Shit. I put the phone away and stared into the ceiling for a while. My thoughts keep coming back to everything said in the meeting room earlier. I know there was more to the discussion between the Sentinels and my court, but I'm not about to start speculating about that. I'm getting an actual headache now. I contemplate just sleeping on it, but I know I shouldn't be this selfish, so I grab the phone again. Nick? My mom's voice is frantic. Yeah, Mom, it's me. Oh, thank goodness, we've been worried sick. How are you? I'm fine. Just some bruises, nothing else. Her voice rises in pitch. Oh, boy. Oh, just some bruises. Nick, it's been almost 2 days. We came to the hospital twice. They wouldn't let us see you. I know. I guess the police wanted me to be the first to speak with me. I grimace as the words leave my muzzle. Not my best lie, but I suppose I can work with that. I'm going to give the hospital a piece of my mind tomorrow. And you better have remembered the name of the officer who spoke with you. They'll be hearing from me too. Mom, for God's sake, I'm fine, okay? I just slept a while. It's not a big deal. It's a big deal. I'm not allowed to see my son. Your father's about ready to bust the doors down himself. Yeah, okay, I'm pretty mad too. But honestly, I'm just glad I wasn't hurt that bad. Isn't that all that actually matters? Well, I'll be out of here tomorrow. I know it's likely not true. If I tell them it's going to be more than that, my mom insists on visiting again and the whole charade will collapse. We're picking you up first thing in the morning. Lucas already promised to pick me up, okay? He has my car. Oh, Lucas, I suppose. Are you sure that's fine? Yeah, positive. Well, I promise to come see you guys next weekend after I'm done with exams. Mom doesn't reply yet. I can hear her speaking with Dad, but not the exact words being exchanged. All right, honey. Just don't forget, and bring Lucas. Was he the one who told you guys? Yes, he's very worried about you. Well, okay then. I'll see if he has time to come. Call you soon? Make sure you do that. All right, Mom. I'm sorry to worry you. Bye. Good night, sweetie. I end the call and stare down at my phone. All things considered, that was pretty painless. Mom can be a real handful at times, or at least I managed to talk her down. I guess what if the Sentinels did to keep up the appearance of me being in a hospital worked well. It might have been interesting how they persuaded anybody to go along with this, but it's frankly the least of my worries right now. I decided to text Lucas instead. I have a dozen missed calls from him, and even more messages. Damn. Hey dude, just woke up. I'm all good. Holy shit, I've been going mad worried. What the fuck happened? I don't know, TBH. Something must have hit me during the fight. You good? He takes a moment to type his response while I keep my eyes glued to the screen. Yeah. Good. Nurse said Superfang brought me here. Did you see him? Saw him jump in there. Spoke with Nessus too. Told me I'd find you. They wouldn't let me see you. Yeah, I know. Sorry. Nurse said I should be good to go soon. You got my car? I know. You had the keys. Oh, right. Okay. I'll message you tomorrow. Night. Call? Signal sucks, but I'll see what I can do. Sure. Good night. God damn it. What a mess. I messaged her other friends and put my phone down. I noticed some fresh clothes on the chair in the corner of the room. The Sentinels have someone taking care of stuff like this in their secret base. I glanced at the ceiling. Something more like. Thank you, Gil. There's no need to thank me, Mr. Saunders. Just Nick is fine. Your preference has been noted. Is there a bathroom and a shower I can use? I will guide you to the facilities. I nod and pick up the clean clothes, then leave the room. As promised, Gil's synthetic voice guides me down a couple of dim hallways. And again a proper look. This whole place seems a little cramped, at least when it comes to the corridors connecting the various rooms. Gil, how large is this place? The base has spaces for the needs of all members of the team, as well as a meeting room, training facilities, garage, and several other spaces you are currently unable to access. Asking where all this is located is probably pointless. Gil guides me into a spacious bathroom equipped with everything I need at the moment. I undress and look at myself in the mirror. My fur has been cleaned at some point, but it's still a mess. When I part it on my chest, I wince at the sight. Fur does a good job of concealing it, but right now my torso is pretty much one giant bruise. It's a wonder the supervillain didn't shatter my ribs. I suppose I should count myself lucky. Very lucky. Sigh, and I step into the shower and just stand under the hot water for a solid 10 minutes before I make any moves to clean myself. There are several bathrobes hanging there for when I'm done. I elect to ignore them and just put on the clothes provided for me. Thought of any of the superheroes I just met walking around these hallways in a bathrobe or wrapped in a towel brings a chuckle to my muzzle. Gil directs me back to the room. I'm looking forward to sleeping on a medical bed again, but I'm not about to start whining about it. Before I drift off, I just stare at the bracelet adorning my wrist. Can't tell what material it's made of. The engraving seems to depict a stylized warrior surrounded by a weave of odd Celtic-looking patterns and glyphs. Appropriate, I suppose. I need to know way more about all this. Hopefully the Sentinels can help explain. And then I'll need to make a decision. It's a simple choice, really. Do something with what Templar gave me, or don't. Except there's nothing simple about it. I'm not about to tackle that right now. Despite having woken up not that long ago, I'm already exhausted. Drained. It'll have to wait until tomorrow. And there we go, episode 1 of Supernova. I hope you enjoyed that. It's going to be a fun VN. I think I have played further along and I am enjoying it. I just have a very hard decision coming up as to where we go with these videos. There's a couple of characters I'd like to spend time with. But as I talk about that, there's also a new superhero. VN just came out, Glory Hounds. And that just came out today as I'm recording this. So I have not had a chance to read it yet in case any of the creators happen to be checking on this video. I will be doing that this weekend when I have some time. So I'll be checking out that one, and it might be worth checking out yourselves as well. I can't say anything about a video yet. I have no plans. And I need to check on all the pronunciations I might need to do for that one. But there will be something else returning in the week. We'll be heading back to the world of Eden's Reach. We're going to be seeing what's going on with Benji and Oswald and the rest of them there. So that'll be a shorter video in the week. And we'll be taking a quick look then at a couple of other VNs which I hope to be introducing to you later in this, what's left of the summer, almost in August. And I'll put all the links for those ones in that description when I do it, because you might want to check them out yourself before I get to it. And of course all the stuff for Supernova is down in the description, so I recommend tracking this one down and having a read yourselves. But before I go, as always, thanks to all my donors on Patreon and Ko-fi. And my top patrons are Exac, Monolay, Evan King, Marcus, Cindy Dragonwolf, Kopi, Spiderling, Grizz, Dissonance, Anubis Silverwind, Ida Corval, Tiger Cub, Gunnambulla, Brian Hall, Bastion, Larkuskaton, Vesuksu, Kobusvissa, Kartek, and Burnt Toast. And I know how tight money is getting for some of us at the moment, so I do appreciate all of you who can give even anything. It is much appreciated. And don't forget, if you missed my short video, there will be a Q&A coming up probably in the second week of August, which might even be a live stream. We'll see on that one. But if you want to ask any questions, just drop them into the Q&A video comments and I will find them and sort all that out. But that's it for now. Until we return with Eden's Reach in a week. Thanks for watching and bye for now.